of the 11 million here illegally are convicted criminals. That's a total of 7%. Not 1% should be in the country. Mark Morgan is a former head of the Border Patrol, and he's heard the rhetoric, but he knows the reality. Mark, is the president making up an emergency?
Absolutely not. And Brian, this is the part of the frustration for those of us from a law enforcement, border security perspective. How many more statistics do we have to provide? How many more factually based examples do we have to provide? How many more angel families have to stand in front of some of these individuals before they finally say, yeah, okay, this is real? It's just incredulous.
It's true. And the other thing I thought about too, Mark, and because I know you served during the Obama years, there was an emergency then. They chose not to act on it. It doesn't mean there's not one now, and it doesn't mean they're not getting worse. I mean, the numbers this year show a huge uptick in apprehensions. That doesn't count the people we don't catch. So when people say to you, the drugs are coming through the port of entry, let's use some technology to crack down there, there's no problem with drugs in the middle of the country and other areas not populated. What do you say?
Well, that's right. And a couple of things you hit on, Brian, and you're spot on. So first of all, look at the take right now. 60,000 are coming in a month illegally into this country. So this year so far, 62 caravans of 100 or more, 13 of all of last year, 2,000 in one single day this week. So the numbers are climbing, but it's manufactured, right? And the other thing, the other argument on in between the ports of entry, it's a absolute false narrative. 60% of the southwest border does not have enough infrastructure, technology, and personnel. I call that wide open. So they're disingenuous when they talk about the ports, because we don't, Brian, just what you said, we don't know what's getting through, but we do know that it is getting through, and there's a lot that we're not interdicting in between the ports.
So, you know, it's just amazing, too, because not only did most Democrats not agree, there's a new trend. And mark my words, it's going to be happening all week. Instead of build the wall, take down the fence. That's going to be the method. As a person who's out there trying to defend our border, what does that mean to you?
Again, what it means to me is that this is absolutely driven on identity politics. The experts have spoken both on ICE, both on the United States Border Patrol and CBP, and they've told Congress what they need to protect our borders, for the security and safety of this country, Brian. And they have not just ignored it, they have just absolutely discounted everything that they've said. And unfortunately, to me, I've only drawn one conclusion. It's based on identity politics.
And I just asked for the latest, that's why I was looking down, the latest news about January. And so far in January, apprehensions have risen up. There were 58,207 apprehensions in January. That's the highest it's been over the past 5 years. And those are the people, as you always tell us, that you get. What about the ones we don't know about? And I just talked to somebody else who just went down to the border.